stalagmites growing up from the ground. There are flowstone formations coming over the walls. They almost look like frozen waterfalls. And then up here on the edge we have cave bacon, which looks like bacon, and cave popcorn over here along the wall. I think early cave explorers must have been very hungry because everything ended up made after food. You can walk down in there and take a look if you want. You just watch your step there.
Okay.
Well, that's so cool.
Section was rocks. It was just discovered in 2005. This was full of clay that they had to dig out to get into another open area like what we are standing in.
Right.
So far, I think it's only 17 or 18 people have actually seen it in person, and that number isn't likely to grow much beyond that. Right here beside me, we have what's called a pipe organ. We used to have a little wooden mallet, tap on the draperies, and makes different musical notes. But it started to mark up the sides, and we were afraid it might actually break. So we haven't played it in a number of years. And we're going to come around the turn, and here you're going to see one of my favorite views of the cage. Absolutely beautiful.
How long have you worked here?
I worked here for 15 years.
Since you were a kid, huh?
Not quite a kid, but...
You don't get old. You know?
Oh, no, 35.
Oh, I'm a baby.
Yeah.
You're a kid, man. You know? You're a kid. Oh, that is neat. I mean, I don't know. It just amazes me what I tell people. Man, I've been pushing backcountry vacations here in Pennsylvania. How many people live Johnstown, Altoona, Huntington, and they've never been here?
Right.
Think about
Right.
that.
And
Right? I mean,
it's something that I've heard from people ever since I started working here. Is, oh, I drove past that every day for 20 years and I never stopped.
right.
So they...
You always need to see an advertisement. Nobody ever paid any attention to
but
it.
because it's right here, nobody says, let's go see that, or they say, oh, we'll do that sometime. It's so close, and then they never get here. So that's something I've heard frequently from visitors. Right here in this section, you can see some of the evidence of how the caves formed. It's kind of hard to imagine, but at one time this was a narrow little crack. Water moving through here with carbonic acid in, same thing that makes our soda fizz, is what wore away the sides of the caves and wore away the limestone. If you look up on the ceiling, you'll see the groove where the top of that water flowed through. And as you look down the walls in this cave, you can see very distinctly where the water levels were. And this is called a lap siding effect, and is caused by faster moving water. Another indicator of fast moving water are these tiny little indentations. Those are called scallops. The smaller the scallop, the faster the water was moving. The two red lights are the twin columns. And back here where that light is shining at the top, that's where Myron Dunlavy Jr. crawled into the cave from the sinkhole outside.
Oh, really?
Yes. And in 1946, the National Theological Society held their Easter morning Sunday service in here. They all came in the same way he did, through that hole. And that was their first meeting after the start of World War II. So you can walk up there and take a look down at the Giant's Castle. Let me know if you have any questions.
Okay. Wow. This is neat.
Go ahead, you get down and take a look.
Lincoln Caverns was actually discovered before was below. Yes, Lincoln is below below us. Now, not exactly below us,
Yeah.
but in elevation, yes, definitely below where we're at right now. It is possible that the caves are connected somewhere. We just don't know.
That was definitely interesting. Because they don't listen, you know? And now you got your spelunking, you can go wherever you want, you know? And I mean, we were crawling through tight spaces, and we had one little kid who was a little bit on the hefty side, and he got stuck.
Oh, my.
Poor kid was crying, and
Oh, I bet. When it's dry, there's a formation over here along the walls called the Diamond Cascade. That whole thing sparkles and glitters. With all the rain we've had recently, it's not quite as spectacular as it is at some points. This is our tallest stalagmite in the cave. We also call it our root beer float. It's a fizzy soda, ice cream and whipped cream cherry on top and the straw at the side. Cave flowers or polyptites, and they form from evaporating water coming out of the rock instead of dripping water.
wow.
You can walk on our benches.
Stalactites and soda straws. Well, we have cake.
Now, are there any stories historically about the cave being used by settlers or Indians?
No, not our caves, no. Watch your head there. The first people that were in this cave were the highway workers.
Right.
Watch your head right here,
Okay.
in the low spot. The entrance we just came in, it was put in the early 1980s. When they finally opened the cave, or put in that entrance over there, moved the gift shop to this side of the road. The old gift shop was on the other side of the highway.
Yeah, there's that, right.
Because the cave was found in 1930 when they were actually building the highway. They blasted through a section of the cave, and that was the first anybody knew there was anything here. The highway workers were the very first people to come in. The room we're standing in right now is called the Mystery Room because it wasn't found until 7 years after the rest of the cave. Down here where the steps go, this was all blocked by clay, and the early visitors didn't know there was anything up here. Myron Dunlavy Sr. was the one that dug through that clay and into this open room when he purchased the cave in 1937. Again, gorgeous formations in here. This cave is really wet all the time, and we're going to see lots of flowstone in this cave. All of this stuff along the walls that looks almost gooey or like melting wax of caramel. Those are all actively growing formations. And then just watch your step here. Right before the turn, there are a couple of really steep steps, so watch out for those as you go down.
Okay.
It looks almost like fibers are growing through, tree roots are coming down through the soil here.
Yes, those are tree roots.
Okay.
We will actually see tree roots as deep as 90 feet into the cave in places.
90 feet.
Yes.
Whoa. Now right here, how deep, the surface is about what, 10 feet?
Right. And then where we actually end up is underneath the frozen Niagara here at the bottom. Watch your step here.
I like the thermometer, that is so neat. You know, that is neat, I like that. That's cool.
And if you want to walk up and take a look, you're welcome to walk up and film out over that if you like.
Okay. Somebody had to bring concrete in here. Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't me. That's every time I think about that.
Yeah. I mean, they actually did a lot of work here to
Wow.
get those higher. Okay. Whew. Right. Wow, that is, how high did you say this was?
90 feet long and 40 feet tall.
Ooh. That's huge. Okay.
Yep.
As you can imagine, before they had steps here, how they had to get up and climb these suckers, you know?
Our purity cascade.
Oh,
This
that
is
is-
about 90% quartz calcite. The water that drips down over this has come over the frozen Niagara. There's mostly just water and calcite dripping in this situation. It looks very pretty in other colors of light. That's in a red light. And then my favorite is in the black light. This is a property called fluorescence, meaning it glows in ultraviolet light. It also phosphoresces, meaning it glows in the dark. So when I turn the lights out
Go back to the red for a second.
to the red,
Yeah, I'm just gonna focus the camera, and then go ahead and turn it to the black light.
okay?
Cool. Now, what did you say, the actual,
It'll phosphorus as well.
oh, really?
But to see this, we do have to turn off any lights on,
Okay, go ahead.
cameras,
Yeah, go
or
ahead.
anything.
Go
Make
ahead.
sure all your lights and everything are covered up. They turn off. When I turn it off,
Okay.
they sent it into the man-made walls. So they just reused everything to seal the cave back up again, like it was before they
Yeah,
lasted
you
through.
open that door, the highway right there.
Yes. Yeah, you can see it from the road whenever you drive past. Our old gift shop is on the other side of the highway. And then you just have to run back and forth to get in there.
Finding all that traffic on the highway, the vibration, you would think it would, you would think, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that's why they did the ceiling the way they did. Originally, they had a false wooden ceiling in here, but wood rots in the damp environment.
Right, yeah.
So eventually, even though nothing ever fell on the wooden ceiling, the chocolate fondue fountain has been popular lately. You can see Santa Claus, the eyes and the mouth and the beard up on top. It's really fun formation.
Huh.
Just watch it. There are some little spots coming here and here.
I just find it amazing that roots can grow down that deep, you know? I mean, that's amazing.
My pop always told me that trees roots could go twice as deep as the tree was tall. And I don't think I believed until I started working here and saw it for myself.
Right. You would think there'd be gemstones there, you know?
All limestone and calcite
Oh, yeah.
in here. We're back to where we started.